Voucher, hello, welcome to Keith's Whisky Vlog. In this video we're going to do a little whisky tasting for you, and it's behind or underneath my mystery whisky tube. And usually if you watch my videos regularly you will know we might not have a full size bottle today. What I'm going to be reviewing for you is the Glengoyne 10-year-old. Now I've just got it in little miniature form. And Glengoyne, it's a lovely little distillery. It's one of the most picturesque distilleries in Scotland. I like to read the bottle, so what does this one say? It says, a gloriously golden, clean and bright flavour with a malt finish. Notes of fresh green apples, toffee and a hint of nuttiness with a touch of soft oak. So this one comes in at 40%. It's the standard release in the Glengoyne core range. They've got a few age statements. They've got the 12-year-old, I think they've got a 15, 18-year-old, the 21-year-old. They've got a cask strength that they release. I think at the moment as I speak to you we're on to batch 8. I'll be reviewing that also in these videos. And they do a legacy as well, a sort of a marriage of different barrels. So we'll be reviewing those whiskies for you, but in this video we're doing the Glengoyne 10-year-old. Now Glengoyne, it's not too far from Glasgow. It's maybe halfway between Glasgow and Loch Lomond. Glasgow is the biggest city in Scotland, and Loch Lomond by surface area is the biggest loch in Scotland. So right at the end of the Campsie Fells, a range of hills, just as I say, not too far out of Glasgow to the north of Glasgow. On the end is Dumgoyne Hill, and Glengoyne Distillery sits right at the foot, and the hill's a really nice backdrop. It's about 1400 foot tall, Dumgoyne Hill. Not climbed it yet, but it is on the list. So the Glengoyne 10-year-old, the Glengoyne Distillery, not what I would usually go for, being into my Islay whiskies. Glengoyne is a very clean whisky. No peat whatsoever goes into their whisky. They do use sherry casks, that's a big thumbs up from me, but no smoke whatsoever. I think they steam dry their barley just to make sure there's no smoke at all. And their little tagline is unhurried since 1833. They take their time when distilling their whisky at Glengoyne. And although officially they started in 1833, unbroken, distilled every single year since, there's every likelihood there was some whisky distilled in or around Glengoyne Distillery before 1833. It's not always been called Glengoyne. It's started off, it was Burnfoot Distillery originally, and then it changed its name to Glengoyne, G-U-I-N, and around about late 1800s, early 1900s, who really knows, it finally became Glengoyne. And Glengoyne is Gaelic. Glen, quite straightforward, just means a valley in Scotland, usually a V-shaped valley, and Glengoyne in full means something like the Glen of the Wild Geese. Okay, so we'll get a little taste now. When I went to Glengoyne the last time, I got a nice little range of whiskies, obviously with these videos in mind. So look out for the other tasting videos. I'm going to do the 12-year-old, the 18-year-old, the Legacy series, and also the cask strength batch number 8. So what I'm going to do, as well as individual tastings, I'll have about half of this just now, and I'll save the other half, and I'm going to do a little Glengoyne face-off, a little sort of blind comparison. I'll get the good lady wife to pour me the 5 Glengoynes that I have. I'll not know which one's which. I'll do a little taste and maybe put them into some sort of rank order for you. So we'll see how that goes. But anyway, for this video, the 10-year-old. Tempted to smell it, almost a reflex action, but I shall be patient. Got a good nose out the Glencairn glass, so as I say, I'll go for that. Right, nice golden colour, quite light in colour. See that straight away. Very small legs, tiny little beads around the glass. very clean. It's got a real sort of lemony sweetness to it. Quite sort of light toffee, I would say. You're looking at sort of caramel more than toffee. A little bit malty, a little bit almost like sort of popcorn, so that sort of caramel malt sort of mixture. I quite like my toffee popcorn. It smells like it's got a decent strength as well for 40%, so yeah, quite nice and pleasant on the nose. It's got those sort of citrus vapors, that lemony lift, that sort of top of the nose. So, fresh, clean, sweet on the nose. A bit heavier in the mouth, more sort of the toffee. Certainly a lot more woody. Didn't really get much of that on the nose, but a lot more wood. That sort of popcorn maltiness has disappeared a little bit, but it's a little bit almost sort of wet grass. I would say a little bit grassy, wet grass, damp grass. Still got that strength. Loses a little bit of its sweetness and a much sort of stronger lemon coming through. It's quite an easy drink, even though it's got that little bit of an oomph behind it. It still doesn't linger too long. I could drink this quite quickly. I'll chuck in some water. We'll go for quite a light whiskey. We'll do 3 drops. Why not? See what the water does. It's very nice, it's very pleasant, it's not offensive at all, as you'd guess with the lack of smoke. I wouldn't say there's too much change in the nose, it's still that sort of lemoniness. Clean, sweet. A few of the taste notes say a bit more honey. I'm not really getting too much in the honey direction, maybe a little bit orange. It's very soft now, it's a lot softer, nice and gentle in the mouth. A little bit more of the sort of popcorn, that sort of maltiness coming back. Almost a little bit sort of, quite clean, like maybe a rich tea biscuit, something like that. So a very pleasant little dram. I'm not going to knock you out, but you could drink a few of them quite easily. So let's say you can't get your hands on a bottle of the Glengoyne 10. What else are you going to look at? You're thinking maybe something like maybe the Royal Lochnagar 12-year-old, a nice sort of Highland single malt from the Cairngorms. Not too far from Balmoral, where the Queen likes to go for her summer holidays. So the Royal Lochnagar 12-year-old, that sort of idea. The Glenlivet Founders Reserve, not too far further up the road. Classic Speyside, sort of core range Glenlivet. If you like straight, no nonsense Scottish whisky, there's 2 for you. And with the sweetness, the sort of lemony notes, the Old Faithful, maybe the Highland Park 12. So if you're looking for any whiskies in this ballpark, the Highland Park 12, Royal Lochnagar 12, and the Glenlivet Founders Reserve. Non-age statement. So there you go, hope you've enjoyed this little tasting video. As I say, I'm going to do a little series of Glengoyne tastings. Look out for them, and obviously look out for the Glengoyne blind comparison. Hope you've enjoyed this. If you do like it, check out other videos also, and we'll see you again soon on Whisky Tour Guide Keith's YouTube channel. Thank you for watching. Slán Jabá. Cheers.